The Cloth Story. Pahang Darul Makmur, a state with many interesting places to visit, making it popular among tourists. Whether it is in the city of Kuantan or Pekan, you can still find several historical buildings which still stand strong to this day. Pantai Teluk Cempeda is one of these must-visit places. Here, you can soothe your troubles away by sitting on the beach while looking at the vast ocean. Pahang was once an illustrious state, just like its traditional textiles, which include the royal Tenun Pahang cloth. It is symbolic to the local community's identity. Back in those days, the differing designs on the cloth carried different meanings, which is then carried on to this day.
The Tenunan in Pahang was a dying art. There were fewer and fewer weavers. What the Permaisuri did was very important. She came up with this brilliant idea to teach the prisoners how to weave. Of course, she has to get their permission. So when she introduced that, at first, it was not as popular, but when the jailers found that they could sell their pieces and make money for their family even though they're in jail, they started becoming more interested.
I am visiting Gallery Tenun in Kuantan to see for myself the handiwork of Penur prison's inmates who have been taught specific design styles according to the cloth used. Those with talent are groomed until they are capable of producing a variety of products that are ready to be commercialized.
We're here at Gallery Tenun Bandar My Pride with Puan Shazana, who's going to talk a little bit about what they have on exhibit or for sale juga di sini.
Ya, sebenarnya Gallery Tenun Bandar My Pride adalah satu galeri yang mana ditubuhkan untuk memasarkan produk daripada Jabatan Penjara. Contohnya produk-produk kita adalah besi, kayu dan juga rotan. Dekat sini juga kita ada produk fabric yang mana songket, tenun Pahang yang memang kita buat daripada penjara penuh sendiri dan juga batik.
Boleh tak Puan Syazah tunjuk apa yang ada kat sini?
Okey, boleh. Okey, dekat sini kita ada lebih kepada tenun Pahang yang mana kita ada daripada segi kain songket, kain pasang untuk wanita dan juga selendang, kain kemeja dan juga kain samping untuk lelaki. Ini adalah kain pasang.
Boleh tengok?
Boleh.
This is the kain pasang or a pair, meaning you can make a top and a bottom.
Yeah.
And of course, the way you tell us this is a tenun Pahang is from its colek right here. There is the head and the ending of the colek. Lepas tu tadi ada songket.
Kita ada juga selendang.
Yang ni dia lima ke bukan?
Ikat biasa.
Seikat biasa, tapi lembutnya.
Tapi memang ni adalah sepenuhnya dibuat daripada kain sutera dan memang kalau tengok ni daripada sini memang terus nampak tenun Pahang. Untuk siapkan satu-satu ni pun memang ambil masa yang agak panjang.
Beberapa bulan lah. Tapi kalau nak mengajar diorang kat situ, diorang memang training diorang, cikgu diorang memang kat dalam tu. So beberapa tahun diorang akan belajar lah.
Tenaga pengajar diorang adalah daripada kita, staf sendiri. Yang mana staf ni akan menurunkan ilmu tu kepada penghuni. Penghuni akan belajar daripada step 1, 2, 3 sampai 9 sehingga dia mahir. Dan untuk mendapatkan penghuni yang mahir untuk menenun sebenarnya sangat
challenge dia lah. There are a few challenges in training a prisoner in the art of tenun, which is very, very interesting, and everything is done in house. Ada apa lagi kat sini?
Kat sini kita ada juga shawl. Kita tengok shawl. Ini adalah selendang kita.
Selendang lah. Just a long scarf kan? So dia ada macam biasalah colek dia. Yang ni colour dia agak terang lah, bold lah colour dia compared to terang. Banyak yang saya tengok dekat pekan itu dia banyak pastel kan. Ada apa lagi? Dan kita dah tengok kain pasang, selendang.
Ini adalah kain samping. Yang mana ni kain samping ni adalah sangat lembut, dia daripada sutera. Dan dia juga yang istimewanya kain ni, saya tunjuk ni adalah samping yang dibuat daripada warna natural dye bauxite. Tanah bauxite tu.
I think you can see the details here is different from, it's got metallic, it's got metallic thread on the back. And this is usually worn at the back also. It's very classy. see this one. Apa lagi ada kat sini?
Okey, mari kita pergi dekat yang belakang.
Yang kalau kat bawah-bawah ni?
Oh, kita ada juga kat sini adalah songket. Songket ni kita buat daripada Terengganu.
Ni tahu tak berapa lama dia buat ni?
Dia bergantung kepada corak yang nak dibuat tu. Kalau terlalu macam ni penuh, dia akan ambil masa dalam hampir boleh 2 bulan.
This is the most penuh. They would say that the term for it is penuh, which is full. I think we've seen the differences between a lot of songkets that we've seen. They're mostly like this, where it's spread out. Ni dia di kotak nama dia kan?
Cantik kan?
Cantik.
Jabatan penjara punya orang memang sangat-sangat kreatif. Memang
teliti kerja dia.
Teliti.
Semua handmade
Ya, semua handmade.
There is no denying batik's creativity. The designs change with the transition of time. This is why batik remains relevant to this day. The cloth story. The cloth story.
Dari segi sejarah batik, kita dapat tahu bahawa kalau batik itu ikutkan asalnya bukan datang daripada tanah Melayu, tapi asal daripada Indonesia.
This is a very interesting piece. The first thing you will say is this is probably an Indonesian batik because it has an Indonesian wayang kulit figure. You know it's Indonesian because of the headdress. It's not like the Kelantanese one, which is more Thai. There's a label here. It includes the name of the maker and also the address, which is Kota Baru.
Waktu itu masyarakat kita, mungkin yang peminat seni, dia akan terus ke Pekalongan. Pekalongan memang antara pengusaha yang sangat termasyhur ketika itu. Kemudian dia terus pergi ke sana untuk mempelajari akan teknik, corak, pewarnaan dan sebagainya. Kemudian bila sampai di Kelantan, mereka telah mula usahakan sendiri menghasilkan batik. Pada ketika itu adalah batik blok atau batik chop.
When you look at the old antique Kelantan batiks, many of them are gerust. Here's one that's very Indonesian. It almost looks like a Pekalongan batik, but then again, it could be Kelantan copying a Terengganu pattern, and again, it's gerust, beautiful colors, and this is old, probably about 1920s, the beginning of the batik chop from copper blocks.
Timbulnya batik chop ni adalah pada tahun 1940-an begitu, bila Cik Wan Su ni daripada Kelantan telah pergi ke Indonesia untuk juga mempelajari ilmu yang ada di sana, dan dibawa pulang dan menghasilkan sendiri batik yang terkenal di Kelantan sekarang ini adalah batik Kelantan.
Regardless of whether it comes from Kelantan, Terengganu, or Pahang, batik remains a popular handicraft and traditional art form in Malaysia. Many batik producers, practitioners, fashion designers, and entrepreneurs continue to uphold this cultural heritage. Among them is Encik Kamis. Encik Kamis is a practitioner who has been in the batik business for quite some time. He is also an entrepreneur, a designer, and a producer of batik. His designs are more open and contemporary, encouraging youngsters' interest in wearing batik even on normal days.
Kalau yang tradisional, kain ini pastinya ada kepala, jadi bunga pucuk kebun, yang bunga yang penuh-penuh, full macam tu. Tapi hari ni kalau yang moden, dia ikut anak muda hari ni. Bila bunga yang penuh, dia suka pakai. Jadi nak suruh budak muda yang pakai, dia harus buka kecil-kecil. Dia bilang kecil macam tu. Beza batik pasang dengan batik sarung. Batik sarung diguna kain polister, tapi batik pasang diguna kain sutra ataupun kain yang terbaru ni kain cotton silk. Kalau kain kita guna untuk kain pasang, kita guna kain polister tebal, jadi panas, boleh kita pakai. Dia batik yang dulu sama dengan hari ni dia sama je. Kalau tradisional sama, dia guna liling, semua guna tangan. Dia tak ada guna mesin. Tapi kalau kain polister, dia guna mesin. Yang tradisional harganya mahal sikit. Tapi kalau yang screen, dia harga dia murah. Lebih murah dia. Dari segi ketahanan warna dia pun, yang tradisional memang tahan. Saya mengharapkan mereka-mereka yang di luar sana tu hargailah batik Malaysia dan kenalilah batik Malaysia.
Therefore, the designs created by Encik Kamis are suitable to be made into not just baju kurung, but also shirts, pants, or anything else the customer desires. Although I have visited a lot of places, but it doesn't tire me out, not one bit, because I am excited to learn more about the history of textiles, as not many knows the story behind them. Just like a piece of artwork which is interpreted differently by different people. At a glance, it may seem like just a piece of cloth to be made into clothing items, but the truth is, it is so much more than that. The design motifs on a piece of cloth. If one can appreciate the fine art imprinted on it, one would be able to see its high aesthetic value. Full of meaning, full of history, which doesn't come from a passing fairy tale.
Batik is a method of producing color designs onto textiles by applying wax onto parts that are meant to be left untreated. Here you can see how batik is produced years ago by Allahyarham Ramli Malik.
Among the lesser known batik these days are the ones from the late Ramli Malik, better known as Batik RM. Once upon a time, Batik RM had enjoyed fame of the highest level. But these days, its story is quickly fading. Nevertheless, discerning enthusiasts would be able to tell that it is a Ramli Malik original just by looking at it. Now, his batik legacy is carried on by his brother Encik Ahmad Ashari. What's interesting is that the original Batik RM designs produced by the late Ramli Malik are able to be retained thanks to batik blocks.
We're here at the workshop of RM Batik with Ahmad Ashari. Can I call you uncle or do I call you abang?
No,
Uncle?
Uncle. Abang is too young.
I'm just playing. Uncle, I see a lot of stamps around me right now. Are there any stamps that was left behind by your late brother?
Yeah, I got a
Ramli
few
Malik,
which is left by my late brother.
Are they still used till today?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Sometimes,
still use them?
yeah. We cannot repeat all the time.
Yeah. You have to evolve, right?
Yes.
What about the shirt that you're wearing? Is this...
The shirt I'm wearing is
design?
the design is from my son.
Yeah.
It's from the wooden block.
So your son will be your successor. You
Yeah.
already have someone
Very soon, I think.
very soon?
Yeah.
How did RM Batik get its legendary status? Because I've heard many stories.
Yeah. It was started by my late brother back in the 1970s.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother was qualified in Yorkshire, Bradford College in London.
Yeah.
Right. He came back as an studied in art and design.
Wow.
He was and then he came back as a lecturer in the UiTM for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then he quit the job. He started the batik business. And then he opened the batik factory in Basra He's doing so well until he export batik to France under the brand name of Paco Rabanne.
Paco Rabanne, we're talking about the international design house, Paco Rabanne.
Yeah.
Wow, and this was in the 70s or 80s?
So in the 70s.
Wow. Do you see the brand going into that direction still?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the right...
I used to meet a guy from Australia. He came down to the shop.
Yeah.
Then I mentioned to him that the shirts, we are doing your shirts. Oh. Actually, I'm embarrassing him.
Maybe we can see a few samples later on.
Because he bought very expensive in Australia. And then it come down to Kuantan and he said it's a local product.
But what amazes me is that you said that your brother used to study overseas, outside of Malaysia, but then they would still come back to Malaysia and work on traditional art. And that is one amazing trait that I feel is, you know?
And before my brother started the business, batiks only you can see that on the sarong, on the tablecloth, or the bed sheet. That's it. Then when he came back to Malaysia, he changed everything into Hadis material, into garments.
More contemporary designs.
Yeah.
Wow. So the evolution of RM Batik must be a very interesting and amazing one.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to learn how to do batik?
A few, 1 year, 2 years, that's
1 year, 2 years, that's it. And you have been practicing this for 40 years now?
Yes.
But I would really like to see you in your zone.
Yeah.
Can you maybe show me a few processes, if that is not too much of a hassle for you?
Okay, that's no problem at all.
Yeah. I love it.
I am now in the batik printing workshop where I get to see and experience firsthand the stamping of the original batik designs created by the late Ramli Malik. Not everybody knows about its story as it happened decades ago while he was actively involved in the art of batik design around the 70s. It's definitely not easy to work with several well-known international brands, much less for a small-time producer of batik art from Malaysia. But the late Ramli Malik had successfully proven that nothing is impossible. It is comforting to know that his legacy continues to live on through his brother.
The Cloth Story. The Cloth Story.
Marini Ramlan, or better known as Nini Marini, is an art activist with a lot of experience under her belt. From contemporary concepts to modern batik innovations, she has gained a lot of knowledge so that the artistic blood that runs through her veins can be expanded and turned into inspiration for the younger generation. To her, art is subjective and she feels more at home and cocooned in that world. And it shows when her innovative batik creations gave birth to an explosion of new creative ideas and managed to draw attention from a different perspective. Inspired by a wealth of experiences through her travels to other countries as well as the environment, Nini turns her designs into abstract art pieces which are then turned into clothing and home decor items among others. Her choice and combination of vibrant colors lend a freshness to her creations, making them popular with the contemporary crowd. This means that although modified to suit modern times, her textile designs are able to step into a whole new era without leaving behind the basic techniques in its creation.
The way batik has been used now is greatly different to how it was before. Before, people would just wear it as batik lepas, which is the sarong style, and there's a technique to tying all that. And I think it's gotten a little bit too complicated and not so practical. And I love seeing the new stuff that's coming out from the younger designers. Yes, we've got the palazzo, we've got, the pario, we've got cardigans with batik all over it. And I'm all for that because it just means that there is relevance and that people find new ways and modern ways to wear such traditional textiles in a modern way, and I think it's great. There are so many types of movements in Malaysia, namely one like Langkah Suka movement, who is all about preserving the art of the lepuk. And I think those are important groups to exist because what they want to do is still keep the traditional way of doing things alive. And I think it's useful for young people to understand so that they can apply those techniques and modernize it. My feeling is if we do not find a way to marry those two, the tradition versus the modern, then it will just die all in itself. And I think rather than having opposing ideas of we should be purist and we should remain in the pure stream versus modernizing techniques, I think there should be a balance and respect for each other in order for us to have evolution and innovation in our design and even in our industry.
Before heading home, I stopped by at the Batik RM boutique near the Batik workshop to take a closer look at the batik products. Here, the batik designs produced mostly retain the original ideas of Ramli Malik, but there are also a few which have been modified. What's interesting is that the distinctive motifs of Batik RM are immortalized in clothing items such as shirts and jackets. One word, unique.
It is so great to see the evolution of the designs in your batik while walking around the store. And I even saw a few 70s designs that I would actually wear. Yeah. Like this one I have in my hand right now, which I believe was the block that we saw that your late brother designed. And this is made into a jacket already. Yes. Is this similar one or is it exactly the same one?
Exactly the same block.
Yeah. Ah, it's beautiful. What about the store? Is it open every day?
We open from 9 to 5. Once you come there, you can see the process of how we do the batik from A to Z.
Oh, so you do have workshops?
Yeah, we have workshop. How to dye instant batik instead.
Instant batik.
If the American got the instant food, we got instant batik.
That's always, like instant noodles. Well, it's been so great to witness this legacy that is RM batik. Yeah. Uncle, thank you so much for teaching me the process of making a piece of batik from A to Z. I am extremely grateful for that experience.
Yeah, you are welcome.
I can't wait to see the finished
Yeah.
product though.
Yeah, I'll show you then later.
Yeah, thank you
Alright,
so
you're
much.
welcome.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have one question.
I hope you enjoy it.
I really did. I don't want to
Yeah.
go back, but you know,
Yeah.
Bill's got to do what
Yeah.
Bill's got to do. But I have one question.
Yes.
Can I take this home?
What?
Can I take this
Yeah.
home? Really? Thank you. See you.
See you.
Oh, never mind. You can keep this. Bye.
Bye.
There needs to be a strong unification in elevating the national textile art heritage. Doesn't matter if it is the product of a younger generation's innovation or the marriage of old and new ideas. If these ideas merge, it will become a stronger force in empowering our textile design art for the whole world to enjoy, as well as preserving this national treasure together until the end of time. Observing and admiring the techniques of batik making, especially the instant batik that are made here, fueled me to have a crack at it even though I was honestly nervous to even hold the tools. It is true what they say though. Confidence and sheer focus are vital tools to translate ideas onto a white cloth in the form of motifs and patterns. Not a walk in the park, hence my advice, defend the world's heritage at all costs, no matter in what form. Because by taking good care of it, we are taking good care of our history. Not easy, I know, but just try. I am Arabyrd, the cloth story.